Hello and welcome to tutorial 7, cleaning the data. Once you've input all your questionnaires, you're now ready to clean the data. This is an important phase of the process since the conclusions drawn from the data analysis are entirely dependent on the quality of the data, and so we need to make sure that the data has been entered to a reasonable standard. To be able to do this, we need to go through one of the basic steps of data analysis. For this sort of tutorial, we're only working with 10 questionnaires, which makes data cleaning relatively easy. However, you've got to sort of bear in mind if you're working with 200 or 2000 questionnaires, you need to follow the steps quite precisely. Okay, so you need to go to the top bar of information and click on Analyze, then Descriptive Statistics, and then Frequencies. This will open a new window. On the left hand side of the window you can see the entire list of variables that you have pulled together from your questionnaire, and on the right hand side the empty box with the title variables on it. You need to highlight all of the variables on this left hand side and move them to the right hand side, like so. Use the shift and the down arrow to highlight the variables, and then click the middle arrow in the dialog box to move them across. All of the variables will be on the right hand side of the box, and all you need to do now is click OK to run the frequencies for cleaning. One thing that I'll do just before we move on to that, which we'll come on to in data analysis a bit later on, are the statistics, charts and format. This is something that will be discussed in future tutorials. So if you click OK once all the variables are across, a new window will open entitled, for the first time if you're doing it, Output 1. Because I've run these tutorials a few times already, you can see that it says Output 7 on there. You'll be able to identify the labels that you set up in the variable view. For example, you can see that the first box we come to is entitled Questionnaire Number. As you can see there, questionnaire number. And you can see the 10 questions that we've initially input. 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 10. You need to look down this left hand column for all of the variables to actually see if there are any sort of mistakes. For example, I've used a deliberate mistake within this data file under the heading leaflets, so you'll remember that this refers to how did you hear about the open day. They heard about it through leaflets. You can see that 3 people heard about it, 6 people didn't, but there's a number 6 in here that doesn't actually correspond to anything within the variable view, and it doesn't have a label. To actually correct this mistake, you need to now go back to the data file, which can be done just by clicking on the SPSS data file. You then sort the column by descending or ascending, it doesn't really matter. If you find it by ascending, you can see that the number 6 is clearly shown at the bottom. You now need to find questionnaire number 5. This is where the ID comes in handy. Go back to questionnaire number 5 and find that number 6 is actually supposed to be a 2, and therefore you've cleaned the data. You can now run the whole process again, run the cleaning of the data file, so Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies, click OK, and what you'll find now is that they'll have been placed at the bottom. And in the leaflets you can now see that yes, it's 3, no is 7, and there's no more number 6 in there. Okay, I would run this as many times as need be. Once you've started to actually clean the data completely, check all the rest of the boxes and make sure that you haven't actually made any other mistakes. When you actually want to get the data back into in normal order, go back into there and just click Sort Cases by ID, and it will sort them for you. There we go. Okay, that ends the cleaning of the data. Next we move on to analysing data.